wanted to welcome you here to our short video, something that we're very passionate about. A big problem exists out there in America today, and most people are completely unaware of it, and we have a wonderful solution for it, a very powerful single source solution that will be able to plug the holes in your safety net, allows people to retire with dignity, and provides peace of mind from day one. Something that folks are not familiar with is living benefits, and there's a greater need now more than ever. And the problem is many families today have great risk exposure, and there is a very simple solution in one single package, and you'll be surprised at what that solution is. But I'll share that with you in just a moment. And many people already own, they just have the wrong kind. There are huge holes in most people's safety net, and again, they don't realize it until it's too late, until after the fact. There's great uncertainty today when it comes to health care and taxes, where the economy is headed, market uncertainty, great risks. And of course, people are incurring high fees that they're not even aware that they're paying when it comes to their nest egg for saving serious money for the future. So we're going to share with you some of those solutions today. We're going to explore some of the problems and then get to the solution. I also have a short video clip that I'd like to show you as well. But I'd like to ask you, what if you got sick and could not work? Are you protected? The question is, who would pay your bills? Health insurance may cover the medical expenses, but who's going to pay the mortgage or rent or co-payments, car payments, food, tuition, deductible, gas, electric? The bills just keep coming in. Your health coverage, and today, of course, with the uncertainty of health care, rising health care costs and health insurance costs, and of course the ability for the health insurance to pay the claims and pay them timely, there's got to be a hole. You got to fill that hole of uncertainty, that risk that people are faced with today, and we have a great solution for that. You know, every year, millions of Americans suffer cancer, heart attack, stroke. Heart attacks, 1.2 million Americans suffer a heart attack last year. 17 million Americans are alive today that have already suffered a heart attack. Stroke, 795,000 people suffer a stroke. Many end up with permanent disabilities. Cancer, 3.5 million new cases a year. The average cost is $146,000. Over 65 of expenses are indirect and are not covered by traditional insurance. 11 million people today are living with cancer. And this is according to the American Cancer Society. But did you know that 7 out of 10 Americans who reach age 65 will experience one of the big three? Cancer, heart attack, stroke. That's 70%. And most people do not have, outside of their medical insurance, do not have bill payment insurance or a safety net for their family. The good news is the chance of survival is tremendous. Heart attack, 60%, stroke, 70%, breast cancer, 87%, prostate cancer, 98%. Over half of all bankruptcies are due to medical expenses, even though 78% had health insurance. Well, why is that? It's all of the other expenses that aren't being paid. And generally in a two-income household, one spouse has to cut back on work or eliminate work in order to care for the other spouse. So what's the solution? What if there was a single program that protected you and your family from financial devastation, solved the issues of critical, chronic, and terminal illness, that provided a potential tax-free benefit while you were still alive, protected you and your family from market risk without losing the upside potential, provided liquidity, access to your money without restrictions, all while providing for a tax-free income that you could not outlive? Now, I'd like to show you a short video clip and then come back to the presentation and wrap it up.
Dr. Marius Barnard, the creator of critical illness insurance, was born in Beaufort West, South Africa. The son of a missionary, he spent most of his childhood in one of the country's most deprived areas. Despite this modest upbringing, his parents taught him and his brother Christian the benefits of knowledge. Both brothers went on to study medicine and became heart surgeons. On the 3rd of December 1967, he assisted his brother Christian in the first human-to-human heart transplant.
And what is the patient's condition now?
Very well. We are doctors and we try to save a human being's life, and I don't think there's anything special about it.
As a doctor, I diagnose and treat patients. And as I went through medicine over the question of 20, 30 years, I saw tremendous changes, not only in the medical need, but also in the financial needs of our patients. A case that really triggered my ideas was a young divorcee, 34, with 2 young children. The X-rays and biopsy confirmed the diagnosis of lung cancer, and we removed her lung. She went home 5 days later, and 3 weeks later she was back at work. 2 years approximately after the operation, she came to me at my consulting rooms, basically dying on her feet, pale, exhausted, loss of weight, skin and bone, gasping for breath. And I examined her, and it was pretty obvious that she was now in the terminal stages of cancer. Why should she come to my rooms? You know, she can hardly walk. I can see her. She says, "Doctor, I've come from work." Why was she at work? She needed the money. She needed money to provide for her children and herself rent, food, education. She died a few weeks later, and when she was buried, the life insurance policy paid out. Wouldn't it have been better for her to have the money when we diagnosed cancer? That poor little girl had to work until she basically was dead.
This and many other cases like it made Marius realize there was a need for a new type of insurance, one that paid out on the diagnosis of illness, such as cancer, heart attack and stroke. He shared his vision with an insurance company, which then went on to develop the first critical illness insurance policy.
It's really a marriage between medicine and insurance. I always say we as doctors are the physical doctors. The protection insurance is the financial doctors. If you're ill, the first person you'll go to will be, if you have a heart attack, to your physical doctor. But I hope at that stage you've already made provisions so that your financial health is in place. So when your physical goes, that you have financial protection to provide you with that money, which is the promise of insurance and the definition of insurance, to give you money when you need it most.
Well, here now is the solution. Life insurance with living benefits. See, I told you you'd be surprised. It's the next generation, equity index universal life and or term insurance with living benefits. Pays you in the event of a critical illness, a chronic illness, unable to perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living, or cognitively impaired. Cancer, heart attack, stroke, critical chronic illness, etc., all covered at no additional charge, built into the life insurance package, and you'll be surprised at how low the costs are. Here's a check that basically saved a family from financial devastation. A $344,000 check that this gentleman received when he was diagnosed with cancer. Got paid while he was still alive, could use it for treatment, for his expenses, and so on. A young single mother with breast cancer, healthy, taking care of her child with great expenses. She had health insurance, but most of the medical expenses were not many expenses were not covered. Mortgage payment, rent, and so on that we talked about before. And she received a check, a living benefit check that saved this family from financial devastation, and she completely recovered. You'd never know it today, never missed a beat in her life. And that check was for $106,000. She made about 6 payments on the account when she discovered that she had breast cancer. What a tremendous success story. I had the honor and privilege of being involved in that, and it's a very life-changing, a cathartic event, something that really you're never quite the same afterwards. And that's my crusade, is to help. As remember, 7 out of 10 Americans, that's just an astounding number. It should be on the evening news every night. Here's another very sad story about procrastination. A young family of 5, both business owners, looked at the program, but they didn't quite understand the benefits at the time. They didn't get it. 8 months later, the husband suffered a near fatal accident while playing with his kids in the yard, is now currently paralyzed from the neck down and may not ever recover fully. His family's financial life would have been much different today had he purchased one of these programs. And again, very affordable plans and programs. It's a very painful lesson on procrastination. Well, the question I have for you is, what do you think of when I say life insurance? Number one answer is protection for my family. And you know, the old style life insurance was term insurance, death insurance, right? You basically pay money. If you die, they pay a benefit with no living benefits, and you have to die in order to use it. Well, today, protection for your family on the new term life insurance comes with living benefits included at no additional cost: critical illness, chronic illness, and terminal illness, and can be converted to the next level or stage, which is equity indexed universal life. But most importantly, in both programs, living benefits you do not have to die in order to use. Most people have the wrong insurance today. They need the coverage, they don't have it. And it's our mission and crusade is to get the word out there. You know, I want to talk a little bit about equity index universal life, because many people think, number one, life insurance is too expensive, and we can demonstrate to them that it's one of the lowest cost solutions out there. And if you look at money management, mutual funds, 401k fees, relatively much less in cost, and get the safety and the upside of the market. And the way that this works, and I look at this as red line, blue line. If you had to choose one of these two lines to put your money on, which would you choose, the red line or the blue line? Well, the blue line, of course, right? Why? It's more money. Not only that, if you look closer, you'll realize that it never goes backwards. Well, the red line is the stock market, the Standard & Poor's 500 index. So here we have a program that gives you the upside of the market with no downside risk. Your money is liquid, it comes out tax-free, and you have all of the benefits included. So here is a much smarter, more complete solution and alternative to many of the things that are out there. Should be the financial cornerstone or bedrock for most people's plans. And again, income tax-free death benefit allows for a tax-free income stream. You don't have to die in order to use it, and it comes with living benefits. So, you know, whether it's the new type of term or a guaranteed universal life or an indexed universal life, for each individual budget, for each individual family use, we can tailor a strategy or a solution for each one. All three come with living benefits that you do not have to die in order to use. So again, just to wrap up, a smarter, more complete alternative that provides protection, safety, liquidity, a greater rate of return without the risk, peace of mind, money when you need it the most, allows you to safeguard you, your income, your nest egg from the risks of life. If you live long, if you get sick, accident, illness, injury, die, and provide for a tax-free income. I want to thank you for sharing your time with us. Dig deeper, get more information, find out which is the best solution and program for you. Each one of these are custom tailored. And have a great day, and we hope to look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.